Hello, everyone, and welcome to Barrett-Jackson Scottsdale, here in the Valley of the Sun on a beautiful spring afternoon. I'm Bob Varsho, working with Steve Mignante, Rick DeBrule, Lynn Woodward, Tiffany Stone, Tyler Hoover, and Christian Murphy. And there's a look inside the acres of tents housing the dream rides that will cross the Barrett-Jackson block. And now here's a car that Tyler Hoover had a look at earlier, lot 424, the 1970 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40.
I'm with lot 424, a 1970 Toyota Land Cruiser, and this one looks like a very nice, honest, mostly original Land Cruiser. It's had one repaint. It's advertised as one family owned, and it's a little interesting. I was looking at the inside here earlier, and I've seen things you don't see in modern cars, especially Japanese nowadays. One thing is the fuel tank. You can see the fuel neck going from the outside of the car and then underneath the seat. So if you pan down below, you'll see it's underneath the seat of the car. There's also exposed windshield wiper motors, so you engage it right on the motor itself. I'm seeing exposed wiring for the taillights and also a rear jump seat. This is a very tough, very dependable off-roader, but very simple from a completely different time of Toyota, and it's getting a lot of attention here on the block.
So the FJ series started off as the BJ25. That was the original, which was built, once again, off the Jeep styling. They kind of pretty much stole it. And the B engines were diesel, the F engines were fuel. It evolved into the FJ40. You can also get the FJ45, which is a pickup truck version, but as it evolved, there were differences here and there, but a great looking car with this beige look from 1978.
Let's have a peek with the chassis cam under this beautiful Toyota. And there is the front differential, not rotating. 3-speed manual transmission on this one. There's the rear axle turning away. Body on frame construction, nicely done underneath, real clean.
You know, and if you were to go in the 1970s to some far-flung corner of the planet, the reality is you'd probably find one of these. They were very sturdy, they were sold around the world, and these things could take a lot of abuse. And yes, it didn't have that big V8 engine up front, but it had an engine that was capable of running and running and running.
The only modern touches I see are larger than standard cross-section wheels, or tires I should say, and also sort of a bedliner spray-on effect at the top. That was something that didn't exist back in 1970, but no harm. Very durable.
In the back, it's got a flip-down seat. You can just see it through the window right here. There's a little strap there. You release that strap, the seat would flip down, and you got not exactly a truly safe seat, but a way that people could travel in the back of these. Once again, they were utilitarian vehicles all over the world.
It has manual locking hubs, so if you're in need of all-wheel drive, you got to jump out, twist the knobs on the ends of the front wheel hubs, jump back in, and go wherever you want.
And it goes for $48,000, our number 9 sale of the day. There's another happy camper. Now let's join Tiffany. And we move on to lot 723, a vehicle Lynn showed us earlier, a 93 Toyota Land Cruiser FZJ70.
Hey guys, I'm out here with probably one of my favorite cars that I've seen out in the whole lot today. This is 723. This is a Toyota FZJ70. If you've never heard of it, that's okay, because they mostly only exist in Venezuela. This little thing is great. I think it's a perfect combination between modified and stock. If you look at it, it's got an Old Man Emu upgraded suspension, but the inside of it is so clean and it's so perfect, exactly the way Toyota had intended it to be. Listen, I love this thing because it probably matches my first generation Montero that I love, but also, if you take a look inside, I match the upholstery. So it's meant to be. Back to you guys.
Well, we've seen plenty of FJ40s cross the block. And we go back to J is the series. So in this case, it's this basic sedan. FZ stands for the type of engine, which in this case was a gasoline-powered engine. They made FZJ70, 75. That basically, as the number gets bigger, the vehicle gets bigger. And this is what replaced the FJ40, which had a great 25-year run.
That's right. These ride on a 90-inch wheelbase, which is a foot shorter than the variety that was sold here in this country. But the beautiful part is it has the same 4.5-liter 24-valve inline six. So, with probably another 700 pounds reduced, this has better acceleration, better performance, and probably better off-road capabilities as well. And again, we see a Dana 60 rear axle. So I'm going to guess that Toyota was sourcing these from Spicer. There it is.
Almost a full decade after they came out with the J70 series. So by now, they had taken off most of the edges. And I'll go back to the fact that this J series, whether it was the 25, the 40, or the 70, were the cars that really put Toyota on the map around the world in terms of people in those far distant places that couldn't afford to have a little sedan that would break were driving these things.
Okay, we're at lot 389.1, a 1989 Toyota Soarer Aerocabin Tom's Limited Edition.
Hey guys, thanks. So great to be back here in Scottsdale. And I think I'm here with one of those odd guys that you've not seen in a while, Rick. This is lot 389.1. This is a 1989 Toyota Soarer Aerocabin. Now this is actually a little bit of a mishmash of Toyotas. So it has some parts from the third generation Supra, as well as the Cressida, a very more mild-mannered car. It also, as you can see, has an electronic retractable roof. Now this was brought to the United States under the 25-year rule from Japan, so it's right-hand drive. And I tell you, I have never seen one of these things in person, and I can't wait to see what this gets when it crosses the block. Let's go back to you guys.
I gotta tell you, this is the one that Tiffany previewed, and this is really cool because you just don't see them here in the United States. First off, it's got a 232-inch, basically has a Supra engine from its day, kind of considered a cousin of the SC300. This is a JDM car, so it's got a right-hand drive, but why they call it the Aerocabin is, check this out. The entire top folds back into here, and you've got both the rear window and the top gone. So it's really, really cool. I think there are only about 500 of these produced, and I can tell you this is the first time I have ever seen one of these things.
I got to say, the general contour of that roof is reminiscent of the Mercedes-Benz 450 SL Pagoda roof, but of course that is removable. This is not. This kind of reminds me of the 1950 Nash Rambler, which actually had a removable fabric center, but the B and A pillars remained static. But in this case, this is undoubtedly done for rollover protection standards. I'm sure they would have liked to have a complete convertible, but this is as good as could get and appease the law.
And I think this is actually what they call a Tom's Edition, and Tom's was the racing performance side for Toyota. It was a separate company that they were doing, and so this was the performance version. So not only is it a cool body style, a car you're never going to see in the United States, it's also got a fair amount of performance for 1989.
The only puzzler on one of these, if you had a manual transmission, learning to shift with your left hand, well, I'd find that pretty challenging, to be honest with you. I'm a righty. But this is an automatic, so it's not an issue here.
I'll tell you what, people out here love it. We're at $45,000 right now.
Now, the Soarer was built between 1981 and 2005, and they were always rear-wheel drive and front engine, but strangely enough, they never made it to the United States until now. Of course, the 25-year rule makes this car totally legal to import.
So one cool, subtle little thing, check these out. These are turn signal indicators. When you turn the turn signal on, and from the outside, you can see that it's working. It gives you a little extra image, and those beside you can also see that you're planning to turn. Another subtle thing I love about this is this rear deck. It just keeps going back, and this small kick-up spoiler in the back. Just a really interesting car. So there's a wide variety of JDM, Japanese domestic cars, which are now being imported with interesting names.
Lot 402, the 1972 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40. Man, love these Land Cruisers. Powered by a stock 3.9-liter six-cylinder engine paired with a 3-speed manual transmission. Rides on new 31 by 10.5s. This is the 72 FJ40.
235, 32, 10 on a 5, 35, 10 on a 5, a 35, 7, 7, dock, 37, 40, a 40,000, a 40, 40, 40, 40,000, 40, a 40,000, a 40,000, 40, a 40,000 on a 40, a 40,000 on a 40, a 37 bid, gonna be $40,000, a 40, now 8, now 40, a $40,000, now 9, feels right, now 9, a 40, a 39, 40, a $40,000, a 40,000, 40, now 40, a 2, a 2, 2, yes, 2, 2, 2, 5, a 2, now 5, 45, 42, 10 on a 5, 5,000 on a 2, 2, 5, yes, 7, 7, 47, 47, 50, a $50,000, a $50,000, a $50,000, 50 here, 50 there, $50,000, $50,000, a 48, yes, 8, 50, $50,000, now 9, 49, thank you, now 50, a $50,000, a $50,000, $50,000, 52, a 2, 2, 2, yes, 2, now 5, a 52, 55, a 5, 52, 5, 55, 52, 55, 55,000, a 5, read, 55.
Original window sticker, tow bar, original jack toolkit, owner's manual, service manual, and dealer network book.
3, you're out. 5, 53, 5, 8, 5, 5, 55. Get 3 on the stage. Gotta be 5. 5, 55, 5, 5, here, 5, get it up. 55, 5, 55. So $53,000, Mary. Thank you.
Now on the block is a car we showed you earlier, lot 1013, a 92 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ75.
Yeah, the nickname of this is the Troopy because you could carry additional people. You've got a back row. You've also got 2 sets of seats facing each other. It's just that next evolution. Once again, if you got an FJ70, it was a smaller cab in terms of what you could get into. The FJ75, a little bit longer. And I absolutely love, go up and take a look at this Snorkel. Obviously, the goal here is to get air into the engine when you're obviously fording water. Now, just because you can get this deep doesn't mean you should. There's still plenty of components that you can cause all kinds of problems with. But the great thing is, at least as you're splashing through water, you can get some air in the engine.
Yeah, this one has a V6, not the straight 6 you might imagine under the majority of FJ pickups, etc. But there it is, the 4-liter variable valve timing, VVT, of course. What that means is the camshafts have the ability to phase to accentuate torque or horsepower, depending on what your right foot and the computer tell it to do.
One bidder walked away, the competition ended, and $69,000 is the hammer price. Now here's a car that Lynn Woodward talked about earlier.
Hey guys, I'm here with lot 845, and this is a 1988 Toyota Land Cruiser. It is an FJ62, and I gotta tell you, you guys, this is, in my opinion, the epitome of a rad era truck. Oh my gosh. So it was painted back to the original royal blue color, put some really killer decals on it, and it's powered by a 4-liter 6-cylinder engine that's paired to an automatic transmission. All the work was done by a Toyota dealer, but I gotta show you what's inside here. This interior is all original. This upholstery, but also the entire dash. This thing is so clean and so beautiful. Now, if you're gonna buy an SUV, this is the one that you want, and mommy likes. Back to you guys.
Tell you what, we're seeing the full range of these going across today, aren't we? We've seen a lot of FJ40s. Now we're seeing an FJ62. And of course, the FJ60 is a slightly shorter edition. FJ62 slightly longer. What's really interesting about this is the consignor says it has been restored back 100% to the stock. In fact, he says he's got $20,000 in receipts to show that this was not just redone, it was redone by Toyota technicians. So this was done right.
I gotta say, the vinyl back adhesive graphics on the side were a big part of marketing all vehicles in the 1970s and 80s, and Toyota was right in there with them. Nice use of color, grays and silvers working together, geometric sort of angular shapes, but that's not a custom touch, that's factory stuff. It was an appearance package.
And the consignor has one thing in the car card that I get a big kick out of, and I understand why he put it there. And he points out that when you turn, you put the turn signals on, and you straighten back out, it automatically releases. Because it's one of those things that it'll break, and people will go, yeah, I don't have to worry about that. They've gone to every single detail, even making sure that the turn signals are working properly.
That's true. The directional counselor is classically broken on virtually every
This is an updated description, 2014 Toyota FJ Cruiser Custom SUV. This 2014 FJ is a one-owner supercharged TTUE that has been impeccably maintained and is well optioned with approximately 20,000 in modifications. 53,000 actual miles. Power comes from a Magnuson supercharger with Figs Engineering supercharger heat exchanger coolant, and that's tanked and mated to an automatic transmission.
10, 20, 20 down, 15, 15, 15, 20, 5, 25, 30, 30, 30, 25, 30, 30, 40, 40, 35, 40, 45, 45, 50, 50, 50, 50, 45, 50, 50, now 5, 5, 60, 55, $60,000, $60,000 minimum 55 and 60, $60,000, 60, 60, now 5, 65, 5, 2, now 5, 2,5, 2,5, here, 5, 65, 65, 65, 2, 5, 65, now 7, 67, 7, 7, 7, 70, $70,000, $70,000, $70,000, $70,000, 67, 70, 70, 70, 70, 70,000, 72, 2, 2, 2,5, 72, 5, 5, 5, 2, 5, 75, 75, 2,5, 7, 77, 80, on 80,000, 80, on 80 there, and 80 here, and 80, 80, $80,000, $80,000, $80,000, y'all through, on $80,000, on 80,000, 80, on 80, 80, $80,000, 80, $80,000, on 80, not 2, on 82, yep, the luxury box, 82, on 82, 2, 2, one more time, trade, 82.
The interior features Toyota all-weather floor mats and Supreme suspension aluminum shifting knobs. Stopping power comes from the 5th generation Toyota 4Runner Big Brake upgrade. It features Rigid Industries roof rack LED light bar with LED lights.
82, 2002, 82, 2002, 30 seconds, 82, 2002, 2002, here in 2002, on 82, 82, 82, you want to be one? On 81, on 81, on 80,001, 81,001, here you got Patrick up top, 81, on 80,001, one here, one there, 1,001 here, now 1, 81, 81, 81, 81, $81,000, sold $80,000, VIP box, thank you.
Now on the block, as you see what the last 3 vehicles across the block did, was lot 1004.1, a 74 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40.
And think about this. This is 1974. At this point, in the United States, you had the Corona, you had the Corolla, you had the Celica that had just been introduced a few years earlier. This was when Toyota was really taking hold in America in terms of being a manufacturer, in terms of selling cars in the United States. But this was the reason why it had been able to take a foothold worldwide. When they started building the Land Cruisers years earlier, long before they were building those sedans, the Coronas, the Corollas, the Celicas, this is what was selling and establishing the Toyota name around the world.
Yeah, these are burly, tough vehicles. Leaf springs all the way around. No lift kit on this one. Look at that. These are the stock length shackles here in the front. No lift kit here. Those leaf springs have natural arches built into them. This is a tough riding vehicle.
Yeah, and that engine is notorious for just going and going and going back in its day. And, you know, that's why, as I mentioned, you would find these in just the darkest corners of the planet because they could just keep running and they didn't take a lot of maintenance. And if they broke, they were darn easy to fix.
Wow, $90,000. I can't get over the way these SUVs are selling. Land Cruisers, Land Rovers, International Harvesters, you name it.
At 990.1, please. 1973 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ45 pickup, long bed, original removable top and doors included, powered by its restored original matching numbers, 1F, 6-cylinder engine mated to the original 3-speed manual transmission.
Just give 100, get over with. Everybody go down, hey, everybody go down, everybody go down, $100,000, everybody go down, $100,000, everybody go down, 10 bid, 20, everybody go down, $20,000, now $30,000, now $40,000, everybody go down, 40, $40,000, everybody go down, $30,000, everybody go down, $40,000, everybody go down, 40, $40,000, everybody go down, $40,000, how about his and hers, everybody go down, $40,000, everybody go down, 40, everybody go down, $50,000, everybody go down, $550, $50,000, everybody go down, $560, $60,000, 5, everybody go down, $65,000, everybody go down, 5, everybody go down, $65,000, everybody go down, $70,000, $80,000, 5 now, 80, 80 now, 590, $90,000, everybody go down, $90,000, everybody go down, $90,000, $90,000, $90,000, now 5 now, $100,000, everybody go down 1, everybody go down 97 and 100, everybody go down 100,000.
100,000, 100,000. Yes, 100, and now 10. Happy to get down 110, 10, 110,000, you want to be 5. Happy to get down 105, now 10. Happy to get down 10,000, 10, 10, 10, hey, to get down 110. Happy to get down 110,000, to get down 10, 10, 10, hey, to get down 110. Happy to get down 110,000, to get down 110,000, to get down 110. Happy to get down 10,000, to get down 110, 110, to get down here. Don, you got to be 105. I got 100 on stage. Happy to get down. I'll take 2 to break it up. Happy to get down one time, Reed, 102.
New aluminized exhaust system, new Toyota tires on OEM Toyota wheels.
Hey, get your tenny runners. Happy to get down 100, to get down 2. Happy to get down 100,000, to get down 2 bids up here. Happy to get down 102,000, to get down 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Hey, to get down mountain down. Hey, to get down 102. Sold $100,000. Mary.
Moving on to lot 990, a 1980 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ45.
Well, this is an FJ45, different than the FJ40s that we traditionally and see more often here at Barrett-Jackson. FJ40, quite simply the fully enclosed cab. The FJ45 means it is the pickup style. In fact, basically, when you go through the numbers, FJ40 in the United States, we only got the 40 and the 45. But as the numbers got bigger, the wheelbase would expand. And I'll tell you what, looking at this one from just real briefly, this is really nicely done in terms of restoration.
Yeah, it's what I like to call a crisp restoration, like a crisp $100 bill. Just perfectly new. You can almost smell it. And something kind of unusual on the right-hand side of the tailgate is that circular emblem. I believe that's a Japanese symbol. I'm not sure what that means, but again, kind of an unusual thing. But yeah, the big Toyota on the back. Steel bed, no wooden beds in the FJs. More utilitarian, would never wear out. No need to replace the panels after 5 or 10 years.
By the way, there's a great Toyota FJ and J Series museum up in Utah where you can see all kinds of great things. And check out the price. We're over $100,000.